Hello everyone, welcome to Homeschool Autism Life. My name is Jamie, and this video is an open collaboration with Jessica from the Waldock Way and Abby from Rooted and Rest. And this month's video, we're talking about books, book recommendations, our libraries. I can't show you my library because the books are in every different room available, but I grabbed some. I curated some, and I'm very excited to share that. I wanted to say a special thank you to Jessica and Abby for putting this together. I just love these monthly get-togethers, all of these homeschool mamas from different places that are sharing, just because it really highlights to everybody, every single buddy, that we are different. Each homeschool is different, and that's the way it should be, and I just love that. So in specific regards to that, I wanted to share about my autistic son who's 15, and I am trying to teach him how to have more language. We have a home-based therapy program called the Sunrise Program that teaches just ways of us as parents handling certain issues and stuff. But one of the things that is really good for language is being able to read it and articulate all the little words that don't have pictures. So if I say house, your brain automatically brings up a house. But if I say there's nothing, or nothing, right? And so one of the things I wanted to highlight for special needs kiddos, and this was originally a program built for children with Down syndrome, is So Happy to Learn. It's an online program that you can purchase for, I think it was around $200 US, but you can print off as many books, all of the books that she has created. And it's a program that is just, it's quick and easy, short little lessons. And so I haven't bought it yet because I've been worried about, Darian is 15 years old, almost 16. I cannot believe that. And some of the books aren't made in his interests, right? They're a lot more younger, oftentimes, because she works with young children with autism, or not with autism, with Down syndrome, and some with autism more recently, but it's made for specific groups. So I just wanted to quickly show you how I've adapted that idea, which is brilliant. And again, I will leave a link down to So Happy to Learn. But I've made it so that it's specific to my son's interests, places that he likes to go to, all of that, his sisters, that sort of thing. And then some books that I've adapted, I see book to specifically talk about the things that are seasonal, that sort of thing. So I really wanted to highlight that because that is in my homeschool. And if you have a child with special needs that you're trying to, he has lots of language, but he's not conversational. And so that's something that I've really felt important to share with him. Another thing that I do specifically for him is we do a lot of Dr. Seuss. This is his all-time favorite. There's videos of like video game where they actually read the book, but they have the voices and it's fun and interesting. My son can pretty much say this whole book himself. There's a couple times where he gets caught up when they switch would and could and that sort of thing, but it's something, and as you can tell, it is very well loved. But it's definitely something that I would suggest for any special needs, because in this book specifically, he really tried to limit the amount of words that he could do. I've got a book where it talks about the history of him writing it, and I think there's only like 20 words that repeat over and over and over again. And so it's really, really good for like the shape of the word, the sound of the word, because it's so repetitive. So he's really good for that, just in certain books. I think like the tongue twister ones, less so. But my son has gotten to the place where he likes it well enough that we're collecting them. Any Dr. Seuss books that he does not have, he knows and recognizes that and gets them. So that's specifically for my son. Now, for my daughter, she had eye therapy for a year a while back, and she has struggled with reading as being not something that she particularly enjoyed because it was such a struggle in the beginning. Once eye therapy happened, then we were able to say, see, you're able to do it and you can do it, but there's no love there, right? And so for a homeschool mama, it's my job to try and inspire that after such a rough start and stumble, which isn't an easy task to done. But one of the things that I've found for her is graphic novels are a huge help. Huge, huge, huge. And she has gone to the place where she's even creating her own. And I just love to foster that, because then it's not, she loves to draw. And so then the love is pulled in by something she loves to do. So this is one, this is a volume 1, Kingdom, a biblical epic, Kingdoms and the Coming Storm. And I just got this from our local thrift store, but I just love it, and it shows just how much this can help a struggling reader. So I wanted to share that. Along the same lines, the next step to the graphic novel is these really easy to read chapter books. And so this is one that I recommend, The Dead Sea Squirrels, because it's silly and goofy, and it can add that little bit of, je ne sais quoi, not, strict, heavy reading. It's more silly and goofy, and then it can transform that from, I don't want to, well, it wasn't that bad. Another one is I got this Adventures in Odyssey, The Imagination Station. I have the whole set. I think there's only 6. There might be more. I might be lying about that. But again, it's more simplistic, full, and I think there is there are some illustrations to help just keep that interest up. So Miss Sienna's favorite books of all time are these graphic novels, the Wings of Fire book. Now, this I found to be a huge, huge help for her because she loves them. They're her favorite. They come once every year, and so she really has to wait, and it has to be something that she anticipates this for a long time. And then, because there's such a big gap between the books, like she'll have this done in the first 2 days, right? And so then she reads it often, but then she wants to know more, and so then it helps. So I'm putting that upside down. It helps because now there's the novel version, and so while she hasn't read a full one yet, she dabbles because she wants to know what's next. So the warning I would give for this one is there is one book in particular, and I don't remember which one, but there is a mention of 2 male dragons getting married, and it's kind of one of those like throwaway comments. But if you look it up online, a lot of people were like, oh my goodness, this is like LGBTQ plus, children's book that shows that. I have not found it to have tons of that in it. There was one mention that I know of. So I just wanted to give that proviso ahead of time. But like I said, the way they talk about it online, it seems to be this big, huge thing. And it seems, from what I've read, what I've heard from my girls, it's a very throwaway line. So up to you guys and your discretion. So the other fun ones that I have, if you grew up in the 80s or 90s, you will know what these are just by the spines. If you don't, these are fun books that I am trying to get my kids into, and they are called Choose Your Own Adventure books. So this one is Lost in the Amazon. Essentially, you read a page or two, and then it gives you a choice at the bottom. And then you are supposed to, depending on what your choice is, you turn to either page 7, 46, or 92. And the amazing thing about these is just how much fun. Like, this box contains 108 possible endings. And so I just think it's such a fun thing, and they're not very thick, so they're not very overwhelming, but I'm trying because I loved these as a kid. I also loved Hardy Boys because I was that weird kid. I was not a Nancy Drew fan, but I loved the Hardy Boys. So, do we have Hardy Boys in this house? Yes, we do. So the other ones that I would give is this Monk and Mystics series. I only grabbed one, History Lives, but it's a fun retelling of church history from the very first to Reformation time and beyond. And I just, Rescue and Redeem from 1860 till tomorrow. So there's 5 in the series, excuse me. And I love the fact, because I think there's so much that we don't learn in church about church history. And so this one, the way they tell it, it's very interesting. It's not dry. It's not just names and dates. It's actually telling the story. And so I wanted to share that. And then finally, I wanted to share this book, the New Answers book. There's a series of, I want to say 4 or 5 as well. 4. But this is all about apologetics, and I really wanted to share this because I think in today's world, where the attacks on faith and the foundation of faith is so deep and so heavy, and then also just how we respond as Christians. Some Christians respond by making a whole bunch of compromises, and this book really says why compromise is so dangerous and why it affects how our kids then go out into the world, the real world. They go out into the world and they're completely unprepared for the answers that were given. Well, these Christians believe that this is not true, that it's figurative, that Noah's Ark didn't actually happen, that God didn't create the world in 6 days. And this book goes through every last one of them, including, radiometric dating and isotope dating and everything. And some of it can go like completely over your head, but I think having a reason for your faith and a reason why you believe the Bible to be true versus willing to stuff man's science into the Bible is really clear, something that we have to teach our kids so that when they do meet up with those individuals, that they can say, this is the reason why I choose to believe the Bible. Do we have all of the answers? No, we do not. But the idea that we're going to tell the God of the universe that we know better is probably not very wise. And so this series of books, I think, are excellent. They're worth going through, especially if your kid is in a teenager state. I said that really weird. But if they're teenagers, they'll be able to understand it a bit better. My 12-year-old grapples with all of these concepts as well. Sometimes I have to explain it in a different way, but I'm like, for 4 of them, and we've been going through this book since September, and we're, like halfway through, or not even halfway through, because it takes a while to talk about these issues and whatever. So I just feel so strongly about this that I really wanted to share with you that book. So This is by no means, shape, or form the extent of my library, but I wanted to highlight these ones because I think that they are excellent for our kids, and I hope that that is something that you enjoyed. Thank you again to Abby and Jessica, and if you have any questions, check the links down below because I think I mentioned a few things and I will see if I can link them. And thank you so much for having a wonderful, or thank you so much for watching, and have a one-dorable day. Talk to you later.